climate activist Sonam Wangchuk rejected the Home Ministry's claim that he instigated the recent violence in Ladakh, calling it a scapegoat tactic. Wangchuk said that he is prepared to be arrested under the Public Safety Act, but he warned that his imprisonment may cause the government more problems than keeping him free. He emphasized that the unrest stems from 6 years of unemployment, unmet promises, and the failure to address demands for statehood and the 6th schedule protections. The activist, who led a peaceful statehood and constitutional safeguard movement in Ladakh, said that the government's approach of blaming him or other political groups will not bring peace. The unrest in Leh saw arson, street clashes and attacks on BJP and Hill Council offices, leaving 4 people dead, over 80 injured, including 40 police personnel. Security forces used tear gas and other measures to bring the situation under control, and a curfew was imposed later as a precautionary measure. The Union Home Ministry said that Wangchuk's hunger strike, which began on 10th of September, demanded inclusion of Ladakh under the 6th schedule and statehood. While claiming the situation was largely brought under control in Leh by 4 p.m. yesterday, the ministry warned against circulating any provocative videos and noted that politically motivated individuals had tried to sabotage the ongoing talks with the Leh apex body and the Kargil Democratic Alliance. The next meeting of the high-powered committee is scheduled for 6th of October, with further discussions planned on 25th and 26th of September. Now, Lieutenant Governor Kavindra Gupta described the violence as heart-wrenching, saying that unrest was planned, it wasn't spontaneous, and also assured that strict action against those responsible will be taken. My colleague Brijesh Pandey joining us live. Brijesh, for the first time, Sonam Wangchuk suggesting that he wasn't in fact responsible. He was leading a peaceful protest, and putting him behind bars is not going to be fruitful.
Well, I think, the entire narrative has been set since last night, when the government sources from Ministry of Home Affairs as well as Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh has made it very clear that they suspect that it is Sonam Wangchuk who is behind the unrest and the violence which happened, and he broke his fast only after the situation escalated and went out of control. The government has also been, source-based information has been coming about how, a lot of money has changed hand, whether he's visited Pakistan. So a lot of back and forth is happening as far as these informations are concerned. Sonam Wangchuk has made his position very, very clear. He said that the way the entire narrative is going is very, very clear that the government wants to arrest him under Public Security Act, which warrants 2 years of jail. And he's saying that a Wangchuk in jail is more dangerous, or it will be more harmful than Wangchuk free. And he also went on to say that, irrespective of how you want to look at it, until unless you solve the real issues, which is whether you put Ladakh under Schedule 6 of the Constitution and also grant statehood to it, the real situation will remain there, and there will always be a fast which has been carried forward by being done by Sonam Wangchuk, and it looks like that that both of them are almost on a collision course for sure.
And would it be fair to say that Sonam Wangchuk is under intense scrutiny at this point, Brijesh, with CBI also stepping in?
Oh, absolutely. And I think, since he's running an NGO and a couple of other institutes, so one thing is very clear, that all those institutes and all the bank accounts of Sonam Wangchuk will be put under intense scrutiny, whether he was a recipient of FCRA, how much FCRA came in, whether it was sent to the NGO, or there was any kind of change or, routing of that money to his personal account. All of that will be intensely scrutinized. And if there's any, discrepancy in the account which has been put forward, been submitted to the government, it will definitely, Sonam Wangchuk will be taken to task by the government. So there is an intense scrutiny already happening. The government wants to put up pressure by saying that what has happened yesterday should not be repeated under any circumstances. And Sonam Wangchuk is saying that, until and unless you address the core issue, which is putting the Ladakh under the 6th schedule of the Constitution and granting of statehood, situation will keep on, will be on permanent simmer. So it has entered into a kind of a deadlock, and it will be very interesting to see whether the government still sticks to a 6th October meeting, or the government prepones it and engages into a far more meaningful dialogue, or he completely removes Sonam Wangchuk from the team and then negotiate with other players as far as this particular situation is concerned. All
right, too much heat on Sonam Wangchuk already. Stay with us, Brijesh, as more trouble for Sonam Wangchuk is now brewing. Sources say that a scanner has been installed at Wangchuk's HIAL Institute. Donations received by the institute have more than doubled in the past year. 4 of the 7 accounts have not been made public, and huge remittances were received without an FCRA compliance license. FCRA essentially allows you to receive foreign funding, and without appropriate license, sources are suggesting that the NGO continued receiving foreign funding. In fact, the money doubled. Brijesh, alluding to what you were saying, it does appear that Sonam Wangchuk's NGO will now be facing increased scrutiny on whether he was receiving any kind of foreign funding, specifically in violation of FCRA rules.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, what the government is going to do is they're going to double down on Sonam Wangchuk's bank account. They will be in touch with all the donors. They will be scanning the antecedents of the donor. And, they'll be looking at the fact that why there was this sudden doubling of foreign grant which was given to Sonam Wangchuk and his institutes. They will also be looking into whether any of these monies which were meant for the institute or the NGO was transferred to Sonam Wangchuk's personal account or not. And they will be also try to investigate and find out, what exactly happened with the money. Was it used for its intended and stated purposes, or was it put to personal use, or as many are hinting, of creating chaos in the state? So it's going to be a very, very intense scrutiny as far as the finances of Sonam Wangchuk is concerned. And as I said, it's going to be a standoff between Sonam Wangchuk and the government of India, and it doesn't look like that it will go anytime soon. It'll be interesting to see whether the government is able to find a new stakeholder as far as these protests are concerned, whether they are able to continue the dialogue with the same kind of ease as it has been happening till now, or that the entire situation will further deteriorate post any potential arrest of Sonam Wangchuk, as he himself was referring to. Shweta?
All right, and fair to say at this point that Sonam Wangchuk's activism hasn't really worked in his favor. If anything, he is now increasingly under government scanner. Before I let you go, there is an October meeting planned between the people who are leading the movement for statehood for Leh, as well as the government. Is that meeting still going to be on, Brijesh, in light of what happened yesterday?
Well, I mean, there's been no, indication by the government of India as of now, or by the MHA, that meeting has been called off. So in all likelihood, that meeting is likely to take place as slated before. But the fact of the matter is that with these new developments happening, and this doubling down on Sonam Wangchuk is concerned, the violence is there. The only thing is that whether it's going to take place on the stated date, or the government will prepone it if it wants to exclude Sonam Wangchuk from the panel which was supposed to interact with the government. So, all of these permutations and combinations are still there. But as of now, the meeting which was supposed to take place on 6th of October still remains there.